X-Force. Isn't that kind of derivative? Totally. Hello friends, it is I, Dylan, and you are watching Toy Lips, the channel where we review toys, talk about toys, dream and lust after toys. You know what I'm saying? You want to show some support, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and check me out on Insta where I'm putting up pictures of this nonsense all the time. Anyway, after getting jerked around for like weeks on the shipping here, man, I finally got this thing just the other day, and I would love to get into it. X-Force 3-pack gets us further along on this team. You get Richtor, Domino, Cannonball. On the side here, we have this nice card art. You know, if you're going to use this card art, just go ahead and like maybe make the toys match it. Or just find some cards that better depict the likenesses. Or, you know what I'm saying? You're just sculpting these from scratch, right? A lot of this stuff is not necessarily reuse. Same thing, the cards that are awesome, but don't match. I have all of these, man. These cards were so cool. So in the early 90s, this X-Men fever, it got contagious and spread to other books. New Mutants became X-Force. More force, everybody loves that, right? Huh. And here are 3 characters from that roster right out of the package. Wait, that's not it. So we're going to give each character some individual attention, and we'll start by brushing these 2 creeps aside, and we'll take a closer look at Domino. Old Nina Thurman here is a mutant with the power to subtly alter probability in her favor. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? It's a fancy way of saying good luck. She's got good luck. The head sculpt right away, I think, looks really nice. Some newly sculpted like torso pieces and such. This thing here with the buttons and we got shoulder pads, and those are like a little like ring. They're ringed in there so they'll move with the shoulders. Really nice. Pinless arms. And all of this is sculpted and I believe completely unique and new to this character. I'm sure we'll see these pieces again, but that's just fine. Just rotating her on her rotating base, you know, my fingers. I think she really looks the part here. I like these matte colors. These just something about these. They look edible. Contrast really nicely with the shine on these overlays. And the shiny purple matches really well, I think. Get a little closer here. Look at that, all these nice little semi-futuristic, like what the future might be like if you're living in the 90s and trying to imagine the future. Stuff like that. Look at that face. It's pretty good. Get this garbage thing out of the way. Now, something interesting about this iteration of the character, at this point in the comics, she had been replaced by the shape-shifting mutant Copycat. So this was actually not Domino. This was Copycat. So it wouldn't be fair for me to say things like I think the decision to use the asymmetrical headpiece for Domino was a stupid one, because it's not Domino, it's Copycat. Just like it wouldn't be fair for me to say I think it was a stupid decision for them to use blue pegs on the white paint down here on the Domino figure, because it's not Domino, it's Copycat. See how that works? Next up, it is redemption time for old Sam Guthrie here, the mutant known as Cannonball, with the unique ability of flight coupled with a blast field that makes him invulnerable. He really leans into that with the, you know, goggles and these big giant gloves. He can just power through the skies, just wrecking shop. So there was a previous iteration of the figure, as you all well know, and he came with the blast effect in lieu of legs. He's over here like, I have no legs. Well, you do now, buddy. Maybe you can borrow them on the weekends. So what they've done here is given us the same upper body, but he gets a unique head sculpt here, a relaxed one with a different style of goggle and brand new legs. And they didn't just throw on some Bucky Cap legs with a little line of paint either. They did, but then they also give us these nice boots with these sculpted overlays. And so I'm really happy with that. This is a nice version of the character here with the matching gray throughout. Who wears these? Anyway, taking a closer look here, though. I mean, this face is really nicely detailed. These larger goggles, I do enjoy that. The hair's got a little wash in it and everything. Nice wrinkled shirt and the special collar here. The coat, they've added another tone to. The original release was just a solid purple. These great big welder's gloves. He's like pulled over this heavy, like presumably leather jacket. Little capsules sculpted into the belt. And again, those boots, man, I'm really happy with this. I was one of the ones, though, I do appreciate power effects, and I had my other one displayed with a power effect. So it wasn't really me or my bitching that led to this, but I am not unhappy with it. Though they may have just intended to do something like this all along. Sam Guthrie, looking sharp, Sam. And finally, a brand new character here, if you don't count Copycat. Big Shaky here, Julio Esteban Richtor, known as Richtor. And we have not had this character before, replete with all this nice 90s design work. Whatever's happening to the pants, tassels on his shirt sleeves, a scarf, you know, big X emblem on his chest there, fingerless gloves because he's a cool guy in the 90s. You know how we do. This is pretty sweet. This is on that slightly larger buck here. And we'll get a little closer. He's got these very unique sculpted boots. Old crinkly boots here. I don't know what's up with that. Spikes on them. Heels. I mean, where do these guys shop? They must have a custom tailor. You know what I'm saying? This belt with all these pouches. Big ring on there. Rotate around that. He is still filled with pins. Actually, the boots themselves, it's not underneath there. No, the lower part of the legs do not have pins. So they just used the existing upper leg, but they made these boots new. So that, I mean, that's cool. They are evolving. They are evolving as we go. The gloves, fingerless, looks like that's just painted. And these tassels, I believe these are reused from Thunderbird. But I think that the shoulder pad action is brand new. Face looks really nice. I wish they hadn't like sliced into his chin there. But otherwise, he does have this nice bold look to him. The eyes look pretty clean. Hair is really nicely sculpted. Single tone, that's just a little shadow appearing in there, I believe. Yeah, actually really happy to have this. Oh, he can create and manipulate seismic energy. He creates little earthquakes. Look at that hair and that chin, creating a bit of a rumbling in me undercarriages. Coming back around, we'll do a quick run through of the articulation, starting with Marvel's Domino. Or is that Copycat? I want to play some Marvel dominoes. How about Marvel's Domino? Too bad, it's Copycat. So she actually, her head is on a ball, just a ball peg up here. Yeah, pegged into this neck. And the neck actually operates independently too. It is pegged in down in the chest there. So that is cool. You get some extra articulation there. Really get carried away with the tilt. Down and back. And the shoulders are ball jointed. And then this pad we already discovered moves with it. So that'll rotate all the way around. Comes up to the side. Double jointed, pinless elbows. So that's very nice. Wrists are hinged, and they're hinged differently. This one will move the other way. Really cool for some like gun shooting poses. She gets this nice diaphragm, a little bit of back and forward. She actually articulates really well. Still nothing on the waist. Still nothing there. Side, these are the older legs, so those don't come up at all. But they come forward, good amount. Back a bit. Double jointed. Upper thigh cut. And hinge and rocker at the ankle. Very serviceable. Cannonballs here is pretty standard. Male Marvel Legends articulation. Especially now that he comes with the legs. He's got his head on quite the joint here, so he can look way back for flying. Let's not overlook that they did not overlook that. So that's rad, right? Shoulders, ball jointed here. Rotates all the way around. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbow with pins. Glove kind of hides that one. Wrists are hinged. Same way, both sides. This is an ab crunch. Comes forward, pretty good. Back, waist twist. And in fact, we'll tear right in half if you wanted. Why not? We'll have some fun there with that. Legs come out to the side a pretty good amount. Forward, back, upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, and boot cut. Hey. Hinge. And rocker. Very nice for Sam's new legs. There. And Richtor here is on that ever so slightly more beefy body that first debuted, I believe, with the Grim Reaper figure. And his head, yeah, they're hiding it with that scarf, but there is a bit of a hinge there. Doesn't really come back much with all that sweet, sweet hair. Forward, a decent bit. Shoulders are socketed in here. And since they carved that back a long time ago instead of letting that overhang, so you can move that pretty freely now. Bicep cut, hidden by the tassels. Who wears tassels? Double jointed elbow with the pins. Comes up a decent amount for those nice big biceps. Anyway, hinge at the wrist. Same thing on the other side. Ab crunch. Down a good amount. Back a good amount. Waist twist. Sorry, ladies. Legs don't come that far out to the side here, but they come forward all the way, actually beyond. Back, they bind against that there. That junk in his trunk. You can kick it out to the side. Double jointed legs. This is a soft piece, and it collapses a little, but how much do you really need in that way? Hinge and swivel on these fancy new boots. Sloppy, old sloppy boots over here. What's up with that, bro? These are probably chick boots, too. I've looked. You can't get big pullover boots like this for dudes. Who cares? Wear whatever boots you want, man. You're looking sharp. Okay, and they all come with a couple of accessories, man. I'm pretty stoked on all these accessories here. Nina with a couple of Nerf guns. What are you gonna do? They're kind of fitting the 90s era, and I think we've seen that one with a Deadpool. But this one here, I don't recall seeing this before. It almost looks like a Halo gun, and now it's gone. She also comes with a couple of fisted hands. We've ported one on right there. Richtor comes with a couple of open palm hands. The fingerless glove portion, though, is is sculpted on there, so I believe those are unique. But they're very similar to those, for the flying hands. Those same power effects. They work really well here, and honestly, I don't think we've seen those in a minute, so whatever. Sam here, he's got this nice blast effect, painted differently than the old one. I do like this. It's a little more comic booky. I'm glad it doesn't have the chocolate chips like they initially solicited. That's great. And he comes with the with this blasting off, the angry head. And it has different goggles too. If you see that, that's the original release, just repainted in that slightly lighter tone. Let's put together this other Cannonball here. You can put the legs on this other one if you wanted to. If you like this deep purple a little better, a little Ian Gillan in your life, And then he's walking around real fancy. You put this more relaxed head here, the Netflix and chill head on, as opposed to the Netflix and beat your wife head over here. Looking good. So that's really cool. I mean, accessories for earlier characters. I always love when it's like that, when you can sort of swap across. I mean, it just breaks down to a couple for each, you know what I mean? But it's a lot. It's like 10 accessories overall if you're counting all the heads and hands. Some people don't want to count the hands. I love it. They all came with something, with more than one thing. They all stand about as tall as this thing says they do. I couldn't get Domino to put down the rifle. She's been acting a little weird lately. She eats bananas completely different than she used to. I've been watching real close when she's eating bananas. And of course we've got to see him next to the other members of the 90s X-Force, Boom Boom and Sunspot. Dang, now that Sam's got legs, him and Berto can Netflix and chill. The 90s were like the most edgy and extreme era in comics, where like everybody's codename was like if explosions were words. Shatterstar and Warpath. What do you want to call these guys? Deadpool and Cable. No, seriously. X-Force, Wolverine, and Strife. Okay, I'll stop the Edgelord parade. But I gotta wrap it up with the Marvel Legends 2 Emo for Pizza Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee, mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool. Alright, so I'm actually pretty stoked on this set. The 90s X-Men and their derivatives are totally my jam. This pack has some reuse, but there's also some new hotness and a full-on character redemption. And maybe even a 2-for-1 in the case of Domino/Copycat, you know what I'm saying? I dig this Richtor. We don't have a Marvel Legends Richtor, and I think he's really well done. He looks really nice. All this extra, all this stuff going on. He's real busy. You know what I mean? And they even got the nonsense in the paintwork right. He's got his own unique boots. He recycles those power effects, but I think they really fit well in this context. The heads all look nice. Cannonball comes with an extra, and you know, I didn't have a problem with that older figure, but this is far more proper. It's a toy, it's an action figure. He should have some legs, man, to be walking around, you know. But it is a solidly detailed, well-articulated figure, comes with an extra head, and a full-on power effect that truly transforms the character. I love that. Even if we had never even seen that other one before, you know what I'm saying? Domino, she is caught between two worlds. The legs are kind of lazy, especially considering she's got the pinless arms. A unique sculpt up there, but the neck thing, man, that puts it over the top. That's great, and I think the head sculpt looks really nice. Couple of bizarre aesthetic choices. The headdress, it is fine. That's like the headset piece. It's got like the mic there, I think it's supposed to represent, and you do see that sometimes. I would prefer the other way, but that's really just splitting hairs. I like that figure. I think she looks really clean, really classic. I often feel constrained by my own small rating system. Is it a cop-out to give them all like 4.5s? Man, I think these are all really nice. As far as Marvel Legends go, you know what I mean? You got to temper your expectations. They're not, these aren't like import figures that, again, don't cost twice as much. Cost 5-6 times as much. So for around $20 each, $21 maybe, I think this was like 62 or 63 bucks for this 3-pack. I am stoked. Nice characters. One or even two of them are completely brand new, and they all come with a couple of accessories at least. Nerf guns notwithstanding, I think they kind of fit here. This roster is very nearly complete. That is always cool. As always, thanks everyone for sticking around, supporting me on this fine journey that we're having here. Fine times indeed. My own little Christmas present for myself. Who could have foreseen this? FedEx, I'm sure, doesn't need all that mess on top of the shipping, Christmas presents, and all the other crap. This is just some pre-order I pre-ordered who knows how long ago now. You know what I'm saying? But I love it. I'm happy to be here. Happy you guys are here. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends. Tie your mother down and make her watch them. My mother watches them. You guys continue to have a happy holiday and stay safe out there. Thanks.
I got fingers on my lips. Toys that I'm touching, I don't want to put them down. I still don't want to talk about them. Yes, fresh. Smell the plastic that I crave. I want to shop. I can't be having Bruce Banner. I'm Dr. Rubber Band on Bruce Jenner. And you can call me after dinner. We can talk comic books, but we're here to talk toys. Be proud, make noise.